Unraveling the mysteries of the world. Have you ever felt the chilling embrace of the unknown? This video will whisk you into the world's deepest mysteries, where the answers lurk beyond reach. From hidden realms to inexplicable phenomena, our journey begins in the shadows, beckoning the curious to venture further. Plunge into the ocean's abyss, where the Bermuda Triangle holds ships and planes captive in eerie silence. What dark forces linger beneath its waters? Experts remain baffled, leaving fragments of truth mingled with whispers of lore, a perfect invitation for the adventurous mind. The Nazca lines, giant, ancient geoglyphs etched into Peru's vast desert, challenge all logic. Were they messages to the gods, or perhaps ancient astronauts? As scientists speculate, these silent figures invite you to ponder their purpose and the people who crafted them in centuries long past. In the heart of Egypt, the Sphinx and pyramids cast long shadows over the desert. Despite years of study, their secrets endure. What construction techniques did ancient engineers use? The fascination intensifies as each discovery leads to more questions, and every stone tells a hidden story. Are you ready to become a modern-day explorer? Join us as we delve into these mysteries, daring to ask, what if, amid the realities of our world? Subscribe, engage, and share your theories, because the thrill of the unexplained is best savored together. Your curiosity might just uncover the next great revelation. The mystery of the time-traveling hipster. Can history reveal evidence of visitors from the future? In 2010, a photograph taken in 1941 sparked debates that still baffle the internet. The so-called time-traveling hipster stands out in a crowd, wearing sunglasses, a graphic t-shirt, and holding what looks like a modern camera. Is this man proof of time travel, or just a case of mistaken identity? The photograph in question was taken during the reopening of the South Fork Bridge in British Columbia. The crowd appears ordinary, men in hats, women in dresses, except for one figure. His sunglasses seem decades ahead of the 1940s. His haircut and attire scream modern, and even the camera he holds looks out of place. When this image surfaced online, it quickly went viral. Theories poured in. Some claimed it was undeniable proof of time travel. Others suggested it was a prank or an elaborate hoax. Experts analyzed the photo and pointed out possible explanations. They argued that the sunglasses were actually available in the 1940s. The t-shirt? Likely a handmade sports jersey. And the camera? Compact designs like that existed as early as the 1910s. Yet, the debate didn't stop there. People questioned why he stood out so starkly in a crowd. Was he simply a man ahead of his time? Or was he intentionally trying to be noticed, perhaps as a clue from the future? The fascination with time travel isn't new. From H.G. Wells' The Time Machine to modern-day scientific theories about wormholes and relativity, the concept has captured our imagination. But so far, it remains in the realm of fiction, or does it? This isn't the only case of supposed time travel evidence. There's the story of the Swiss watch found in an ancient tomb, the modern objects appearing in centuries-old paintings, and countless other anomalies. Could they all be coincidences, or is there more to the story? The time-traveling hipster continues to captivate imaginations, blending intrigue, history, and the possibilities of science fiction. While experts have largely debunked the idea of time travel in this case, the image remains a fascinating example of how something as simple as a photograph can spark global curiosity. The uniqueness of the figure in the crowd raises questions about how we perceive the past, and what happens when something disrupts that perception. What do you think? Is the time-traveling hipster a hoax, a historical oddity, or something far more mysterious? Let us know your theories in the comments below. And if you enjoy unraveling mysteries like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more fascinating content. Until next time, stay curious. Ultimately, the most plausible explanation is that the man was simply a product of his time, albeit with a sense of style and technology that appeared ahead of the curve. The sunglasses, shirt, and camera, while seemingly modern, have historical counterparts that fit the era. But this explanation doesn't make the story any less intriguing. It highlights how mysteries can emerge from the most mundane sources, inviting us to look deeper and question our assumptions. Whether it's an authentic case of time travel or an innocent anomaly, the time-traveling hipster reminds us of our innate desire to uncover the unknown. It's a testament to humanity's love for mysteries and the endless possibilities of what might lie just beyond our understanding. Perhaps the real value of this story isn't whether it's true, but the sense of wonder it inspires in all of us. The allure of the time-traveling hipster lies in its ability to challenge our understanding of time and history. Even though many experts have provided logical explanations, the image remains a cultural touchstone for those intrigued by the idea of breaking free from the constraints of time. It sparks a deeper question: if time travel were real, how would we recognize it? Would travelers leave subtle clues, or could their presence be hidden in plain sight, as some believe this photograph suggests? In the end, whether this case is explained or left as an enigma, its real impact lies in its power to inspire curiosity. Mysteries like these push us to explore not just the evidence but the limits of our own understanding. They remind us that the past holds countless secrets waiting to be uncovered, and that even the smallest detail, a photograph, an object, or a story, can ignite our imagination in ways we never expect. Understanding cyclones, nature's fury unleashed. Cyclones are massive storm systems characterized by a low-pressure center, fierce winds, and intense rain. They form over warm ocean waters, gathering strength and sometimes transforming into powerful hurricanes or typhoons, depending on the region. Cyclones emerge from tropical thunderstorms. As warm, moist air rises, it creates a low-pressure area beneath. This draws in surrounding air, causing a vortex. With sufficient energy from the ocean, the system gains strength, spinning faster and developing into a cyclone. These storms bring life-threatening hazards, heavy rainfall, strong winds, and storm surges. Flooding and damage to infrastructure are common, affecting millions. Understanding these impacts helps communities prepare for the worst and minimize potential harm. Stay updated through weather alerts and follow evacuation advice. Secure your home by reinforcing doors and windows. Have an emergency kit prepared. Simple steps can save lives, so ensure you are ready to respond effectively when a cyclone threat arises. Cyclones are powerful, but knowledge is a key defense. Share this video and talk to your community about cyclone preparedness. The more informed we are, the better we can protect ourselves and support each other in times of crisis. Stay safe and proactive.
History is filled with tales of unexplained disappearances, but few are as enigmatic as the vanishing of Ambrose Bierce, a celebrated American author, journalist, and Civil War veteran. Known for his dark wit and haunting stories, Bierce's life was shrouded in mystery, and his disappearance became his final unsolved tale. Ambrose Bierce was a man of many talents. Born in 1842, he was best known for his short stories like An Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge and his satirical work, The Devil's Dictionary. A cynic with a sharp tongue, Bierce earned the nickname Bitter Bierce. But his life took a dramatic turn in 1913 when he seemingly vanished without a trace. In 1913, at the age of 71, Bierce embarked on a mysterious journey to Mexico. He claimed to be researching a book on the Mexican Revolution, but hinted at something more cryptic in his letters. In one, he wrote, "Goodbye. If you hear of me being stood up against a Mexican stone wall and shot to rags, please know that I think it's a pretty good way to depart this life." These chilling words would become hauntingly prophetic. After crossing into Mexico, Bierce's trail goes cold. Theories about his disappearance range from the plausible to the bizarre. Some believe he was executed by Pancho Villa's forces, as he was reportedly last seen with the Revolutionary Army. Others think he may have wandered into the desert to end his life, in line with his grim worldview. Then there are wilder ideas. Did Bierce fake his death to live in obscurity? Or could he have fallen victim to a botched espionage mission, as some suggest? His disappearance has left historians and mystery enthusiasts guessing for over a century. Adding to the mystery, some have suggested paranormal explanations. Bierce's stories often dealt with themes of death, the afterlife, and the supernatural. Could he have been drawn into the very mysteries he wrote about? While unlikely, the eerie parallels between his fiction and his disappearance spark the imagination. Despite his vanishing act, Bierce's work has stood the test of time. His tales continue to inspire writers, filmmakers, and readers. But the question remains, what really happened to Ambrose Bierce? Was his disappearance a tragic accident, a calculated move, or something far stranger? Ambrose Bierce once wrote, "Nothing matters." Yet, over a century later, his vanishing act still matters to those who love a good mystery. What do you think happened to the man who disappeared into the shadows of history? Share your theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more unsolved mysteries. Until next time, keep questioning the unknown. Welcome to one of history's most enigmatic tales, a story that blends reality, imagination, and perhaps even time travel. Today, we uncover the extraordinary events experienced by Charlotte and Moberly and Eleanor Jourdain, two women who claim to have stepped back into the 18th century while visiting Versailles. What really happened that day in 1901? Let's explore the evidence, the theories, and the lingering mystery. Before diving into their strange experience, let's meet the protagonists. Charlotte and Moberly was an accomplished academic, the first principal of St. Hugh's College, Oxford. Eleanor Jourdain was her assistant principal and a scholar in her own right. Both women were rational, educated, and had no history of fanciful storytelling. They were not ghost hunters, nor were they seeking a paranormal experience. They were merely tourists, two intellectuals exploring the grounds of one of France's most famous landmarks. Their adventure began on a warm August day in 1901. As they walked toward the Petit Trianon, they claimed to have felt an oppressive, eerie atmosphere. The path seemed deserted, yet they soon encountered figures who would transport them into another time. They later described these individuals as being oddly silent, with stiff, unnatural movements, almost like actors in a historical tableau. Was this a classic case of a time slip? Time slips are reported phenomena where people claim to momentarily experience the past as though it's their present. But what could cause such an event? There's no scientific evidence for time slips, but some theorize they could be glitches in the fabric of time, tied to places with strong emotional or historical resonance. Critics argue the incident could be explained by psychological factors. Shared hallucinations, while rare, are not impossible. Could Moberly and Jourdain's close friendship and shared expectations have influenced their perceptions? Our minds are wired to fill in gaps in perception. If two people share similar expectations, they might interpret ambiguous stimuli in the same way, creating a shared illusion. Versailles itself has long been associated with ghost stories and strange happenings. Built in the 17th century, the palace has witnessed centuries of opulence, intrigue, and tragedy. Could these emotional imprints explain what Moberly and Jourdain experienced? In 1911, Moberly and Jourdain published their account in a book titled An Adventure. While it gained attention, it also drew criticism and ridicule. Despite the backlash, the women stood by their story until their deaths. Were they mistaken, or were they brave enough to share an unbelievable truth? Some theorists propose a simpler explanation. The women may have wandered into a historical reenactment or stumbled upon actors preparing for a play. However, no records of such events exist from that day. Over a century later, the path to the Petit Trianon remains a place of intrigue. Visitors retrace the steps of Moberly and Jourdain, hoping to experience a similar phenomenon. But so far, no one has been able to replicate their journey. The Moberly-Jourdain incident raises more questions than it answers. Was it a time slip, a shared hallucination, or something else entirely? Perhaps the truth lies in a realm we have yet to understand. History is full of mysteries, and the Moberly-Jourdain incident is a reminder of how much we still don't know about our world, and perhaps, our universe. Until next time, keep questioning the unknown. Beneath the sands of Egypt lies a structure whispered about for centuries, a place shrouded in secrecy, forgotten by time. It's a wonder described by ancient scholars as more magnificent than the pyramids, a monument lost to history. Today, we embark on a journey to uncover the enigma of the lost labyrinth of ancient Egypt. Our story begins with Herodotus, often called the father of history. In the 5th century BCE, he traveled to Egypt and recorded one of the most astonishing structures he had ever heard of, a labyrinth. According to his writings, the labyrinth was a sprawling complex of halls, chambers, and underground passages. Its scale was said to surpass even the Great Pyramid of Giza. Herodotus described it as a 2-story marvel. The upper level, he claimed, held 12 massive courts, surrounded by columns and interconnected passageways. Below it? A subterranean labyrinth with countless tombs and chambers, a place of eternal rest for the kings of Egypt and sacred crocodiles. But Herodotus wasn't the only one. Centuries later, Roman historian Strabo wrote about the labyrinth, affirming its existence near the ancient city of Crocodilopolis, modern-day Hawara. He called it a testament to Egyptian ingenuity, but by his time, the labyrinth was already in ruins. If such a grand structure once existed, why has it never been uncovered? Over the centuries, explorers and scholars have attempted to find the labyrinth, often without success. One of the earliest significant efforts was led by British archaeologist Flinders Petrie in 1888. Petrie uncovered what he believed to be the foundations of the labyrinth, a vast platform of stone that could have supported the colossal structure described by Herodotus. However, no walls, chambers, or artifacts were found, leaving many to doubt his conclusion. Decades later, archaeologists and geologists revisited Hawara, but the shifting sands of time and flooding from the Nile made excavation difficult. The labyrinth remained elusive, a ghost of its former glory buried beneath layers of earth. In recent years, technology has given new hope to this ancient mystery. In 2008, the Madaha expedition used ground-penetrating radar to scan the area beneath Hawara. What they discovered was extraordinary. The scans revealed a network of geometric anomalies, patterns consistent with man-made structures buried deep below the surface. While the findings have yet to be confirmed through excavation, they reignited global interest in the labyrinth. Could this be the lost labyrinth? Or is it merely a natural formation misunderstood by technology? These questions remain unanswered as Egyptian authorities have restricted further excavation of the site. The labyrinth isn't just a physical structure, it's a symbol of mystery and power. Ancient myths speak of it as a repository of hidden knowledge, a place where priests guarded secrets too dangerous for humanity to know. Some speculate that the labyrinth could contain texts predating even the pyramids, perhaps revealing unknown truths about the origins of Egyptian civilization. Others believe it was a ceremonial center, where the living communicated with the dead. If the labyrinth truly exists beneath Hawara, why hasn't it been uncovered? The answer is complicated. Political instability, funding challenges, and environmental factors have made large-scale excavations nearly impossible. Moreover, skeptics argue that the labyrinth may never have existed at all. Could it be that Herodotus exaggerated, or that the labyrinth was symbolic rather than literal? Without definitive proof, the debate continues. Theories about the labyrinth are as diverse as the scholars studying it. Was it a mausoleum, a palace, or a massive archive of ancient knowledge? Some even suggest that the labyrinth's true purpose was spiritual, designed to guide the soul through the afterlife. Others believe the labyrinth is yet to be discovered, perhaps buried beneath another site entirely. If so, it may hold treasures and texts that could rewrite history. The labyrinth of ancient Egypt remains one of history's most tantalizing mysteries. Whether hidden beneath the sands or lost forever to time, it reminds us of the secrets our world still holds. Perhaps, one day, technology, determination, and luck will converge to reveal its true nature. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more mysteries from the ancient world. On a quiet hilltop in Brazil in 1966, a scene of baffling tragedy was discovered: 2 lifeless bodies, mysterious notes, and lead masks covering their eyes. What happened to Miguel José Viana and Manuel Pereira de Cruz remains one of the strangest unsolved mysteries of the 20th century. August 20, 1966. A young man walking up Vintum Hill in Niterói, Brazil, made a horrifying discovery. Lying side by side in the tall grass were two men. They wore formal suits, waterproof coats, and most disturbingly, strange lead masks covering their eyes. There were no signs of struggle, no visible injuries. Beside them lay a notebook with cryptic instructions: 1630 be at the agreed place. 1830 ingest capsules. After effect, protect metals, await signal. This note would set the stage for one of the most perplexing investigations in Brazilian history. The two men were identified as Miguel José Viana, 34, and Manuel Pereira de Cruz, 32. They were electronics repairmen from Campos dos Goitacazes, a small town north of Rio de Janeiro. Friends and family described them as hardworking and devoutly religious. But they also had a peculiar interest in spiritualism, particularly practices involving communication with extraterrestrial beings. Witnesses claimed the men had been experimenting with creating spiritual devices to contact higher beings. On August 17, 3 days before their bodies were discovered, Miguel and Manuel left their homes, telling their families they were traveling to buy materials for work. They carried a large sum of cash and tools for their electronics projects. Eyewitnesses later reported seeing the men purchasing waterproof coats in Niterói. At a local bar near Vintum Hill, they bought a bottle of water, possibly to ingest the capsules mentioned in the note. But after that, their movements became a mystery. When authorities arrived at the scene, they were puzzled. The bodies showed no signs of physical trauma, no evidence of poisoning, and no explanation for their deaths. Even more baffling were the lead masks. These were crudely cut pieces of metal, shaped to fit over their eyes. Some theorized they were used to shield the men from radiation or bright light, possibly linked to their spiritual experiments. The autopsy results were inconclusive. There was no trace of drugs or toxins. The capsules mentioned in the note were never found, leaving a crucial gap in understanding their cause of death. The lead masks are unlike anything seen in conventional spiritual practices. Their purpose remains speculative, tied to UFO sightings, spiritual rituals, and pseudoscience. As with any great mystery, theories abound. One of the most popular involves UFOs. During the 1960s, Brazil was a hotspot for reported alien encounters, and Miguel and Manuel believed they were on the verge of contacting extraterrestrial beings. Could the signal in the note refer to a UFO? Another theory links their deaths to spiritualism. In the 1960s, Brazil saw a rise in esoteric practices, blending Catholicism and mysticism. Some speculate the men were performing a ritual that went horribly wrong. Others believe the case involves experimental science. The men may have been testing a device involving radiation, accounting for the lead masks. Without proper safeguards, this could explain their sudden deaths. Finally, there's the theory of foul play. Could someone have exploited their beliefs, leading them to their deaths? Some even suggest government experiments or cover-ups related to secret technology. Despite decades of investigation, the lead masks case remains unsolved. Key pieces of evidence, like the capsules and missing witnesses, were never found. Over time, theories have multiplied, but answers remain elusive. The deaths of Miguel and Manuel leave us with more questions than answers. Were they victims of their own beliefs, or did they stumble upon something beyond human understanding? Whatever the truth, the lead masks case continues to haunt Brazil's history, a reminder that some mysteries may never be solved. What do you think happened on Vintum Hill? Was it a UFO encounter, a failed ritual, or something even stranger? Let us know your theories in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more chilling mysteries. In the frozen heart of Canada, deep within the desolate tundra, lies a mystery that has baffled investigators for nearly a century. A thriving Inuit village near Anjakuni Lake simply disappeared, leaving behind no trace of its inhabitants. What could have caused such a chilling event? Join us as we unravel one of the most perplexing mysteries of the modern age, the vanishing village of Anjikuni Lake. Our story begins in November 1930, when an experienced fur trapper named Joe LaBelle embarked on a journey across the barren tundra. LaBelle was no stranger to the cold wilderness, and he often relied on the hospitality of Inuit villagers for food and shelter. He approached the Anjikuni Lake settlement, expecting warmth and conversation, but instead, he found silence. A silence so profound it chilled him to the bone. The village was abandoned. Tools were left in mid-use. Half-cooked meals sat frozen in pots. The sled dogs, left behind, were found starved to death, an unusual and tragic sight. But what truly shocked LaBelle was the absence of footprints in the snow, as if the villagers had vanished into thin air. LaBelle reported the incident to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP. What followed was an investigation filled with more questions than answers. According to reports, the RCMP found no evidence of foul play, no blood, no signs of struggle, no indication of where the villagers had gone. Even the graves in the nearby burial ground were said to have been emptied, their contents mysteriously removed. The RCMP's official stance later dismissed the story as exaggerated folklore. However, skeptics argue that their dismissal was an attempt to avoid panic or to cover up something far more sinister. Over the years, countless theories have emerged to explain the vanishing of the Anjikuni villagers. Let's explore some of the most prominent ones. Some believe the villagers abandoned their settlement due to famine or disease. The Canadian wilderness is unforgiving, and a harsh winter could easily force even the hardiest of communities to flee. But this theory raises a critical question: why would they leave behind food, tools, and their sled dogs, their primary means of survival? In the 1930s, multiple witnesses reported seeing strange lights in the skies above Anjikuni Lake. Could these have been UFOs? The theory of alien abduction, though far-fetched to some, has gained traction among ufologists. They argue that the lack of tracks or struggle suggests an extraterrestrial event, a theory bolstered by Inuit folklore that speaks of sky people descending from the heavens. Another theory delves into the supernatural. Could the villagers have fallen victim to malevolent spirits or an ancient curse? Inuit culture is rich with tales of spirits and beings that inhabit the land. Stories of the Torngarsik, a powerful deity, and Kalapalik, a creature that lures people into the icy waters, may offer clues to the villagers' fate. Finally, some suggest that the disappearance was part of a government cover-up. Could the area have been used for secret experiments or military operations? With the lack of concrete evidence, this theory, like the others, leaves more questions than answers. While the mystery of Anjikuni Lake continues to fascinate, some researchers have cast doubt on its authenticity. They argue that the story may have been exaggerated or entirely fabricated by journalists looking to sell papers. Skeptics point out inconsistencies in the timeline and lack of concrete evidence to support such a dramatic tale. Today, Anjikuni Lake remains a tranquil yet haunting location. Visitors and researchers continue to search for answers, hoping to uncover new clues that may shed light on this decades-old mystery. The story of Anjikuni Lake reminds us of the fragility of life in the wilderness and the enduring power of human curiosity. Whether the villagers succumbed to nature, vanished into another realm, or fell victim to forces we cannot comprehend, their story remains one of the most chilling unsolved mysteries in history. Which theory do you believe? Was it a natural disaster, a supernatural curse, or something entirely unexpected? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more in-depth explorations of history's greatest mysteries.